Sidon. In response to the prayer of the prophet Elijah, God showed his power by resurrecting him. Multiplication of loaves and resurrection of the dead. Where have you heard this? As acts performed through a prophet. Indeed, the miracles of the prophets were their credentials as bearers of the word of God. And just as these miracles endorsed Elijah as a prophet of God, likewise, the miracles of Jesus were the evidence and sign of the mission of the Son of God and that he spoke on behalf of God. Chapter 18 of 1 Kings begins with the reappearance of Elijah in the land of Israel. Several years of drought have passed and the people and the king are desperate. Everything is dying for lack of water. Elijah appears before Ahab and apart from announcing that it will rain again, he throws him a very daring challenge that would be verified. On Mount Carmel, 1 Kings 18, 22-24. Then Elijah added, I am the only one left of the prophets of the Lord. On the other hand, Baal has 450 prophets. 23 Bring us 2 oxen. Let him choose one, dismember it and put the pieces on the firewood, but without setting it on fire. I will prepare the other ox and put it on the wood, but I will not set it on fire either. 24 Then they will call on the name of their God, and I will call on the name of the Lord. He who responds with fire, that is the true God. And all the people agreed. This was a very brave challenge. Israel was plagued by prophets of the pagan god Baal. The people followed the god Baal. Elijah was apparently alone, and the test was precisely that the God who first sent fire from heaven to consume the sacrifices would be the true God. Let us remember that Baal was the god of the storm, of thunder, of the fire that comes from the sky. So, this should be a piece of cake for him. Baal had 400 prophets against a single prophet of the God of Israel. This was not an equal contest. Still, they agreed to accept the challenge posed by Elias. The turn was first for the Baal worshippers. The prophets of Baal took the ox that was given to them and prepared it, and called on the name of their God from morning until noon. Baal, answer us, they shouted, while jumping around the altar they had made. But they found no answer. They then began to scream louder and, as was their custom, they cut themselves with knives and daggers until they were covered in blood. Noon passed, and they continued in this prophetic trance until the afternoon. But the supposed god of thunder, of fire from heaven, could do nothing. Then came the turn of the solitary prophet Elijah. Elijah built an altar with 12 stones, representing the 12 tribes of Israel, a very powerful message for the people to remember their origins and their identity as God's people. Then he had a deep trench dug around the altar. He placed the 539 pieces of the good one on the altar and asked that 4 jars of water be poured over it, which was repeated 2 more times, so that everything was completely wet. Then in 1 Kings 18, 36-37 he said, At the time of the evening sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed like this.